Next Sunday, Gary Coleman as you've never seen him before. He's cheered your hearts. Now he's going to touch your hearts in a shocking NBC World movie premiere about a young boy's desperate plea for love and understanding.
Child stars have always been a thing since the start of cinema. From Shirley Temple to Jerry Mathers as the Beaver, but no child star was ever as big as the little 80s icon, Gary Coleman. In 1974, Gary would get his big break when he would appear on a Harris Bank commercial. Anyone that saw that commercial fell in love with the young actor, who at the time was 6 years old. The commercial led to him getting an episode of Medical Center that same year. After that, roles started to come his way. He was cast as Stymie for a remake of Little Rascals, but their show wasn't picked up. He would soon appear on two of TV's hottest sitcoms of the 70s, The Jeffersons and Good Times. But it would take a lead role in the 1978 sitcom Different Strokes for Gary to overtake the world.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some.
The show started to take off. Everyone seemed to fall in love with Gary, and he would charm the world with his catchphrase from the show.
What you talking about, Willis?
As Gary's star was rising, he was making guest appearances on other big hit television shows, from Hello Larry, to Buck Rogers, to Facts of Life, to Silver Spoons, and even Simon and Simon. With each appearance, it seemed his name got bigger and bigger. NBC was raking in the viewers with Gary Coleman as Arnold Jackson, and they knew if kids loved him at primetime, they would love him even more as a Saturday morning cartoon. NBC would team up with cartoon legends Hanna-Barbera for a 1982 cartoon series called The Gary Coleman Show. The 30-minute cartoon series would premiere in September of 1982. Although it sounds like the cartoon was based on Gary Coleman himself, it was in fact based on a 1983 made-for-television movie starring Gary called The Kid with the Broken Halo.
That poor Mrs. Howell. She's sure bummed out.
Yes, indeed she is. What's her problem?
Well, it's a funny thing when people grow old. Some get as mellow as a cello, others get as tight as a drum. My guess is she couldn't handle what life was throwing at her, so she's running away from everybody and everything.
That movie, Gary played Andy, a young, high-spirited kid who dies and becomes a trainee angel in heaven. He is sent back to Earth on a mission to earn his wings by helping people in need. This would prove his worth and he would become a full-fledged angel. As you can see, it sounds like a great concept for a Saturday morning cartoon series. A story about a little dead kid who's trying to be an angel? Oh, the kids are gonna love that one. The plan for the movie was to make it into a series, but low ratings and Gary's already busy schedule called those plans to not go forward. So NBC took a new route with the cartoon series. The cartoon would follow Andy on more adventures, trying to earn his wings as an angel. Sadly, the cartoon series about a dead little boy wouldn't be much of a hit. It was canceled after only 13 episodes.
It's a breeze if you watch where you're going.
Over those 13 episodes, it would touch on a lot of hard-hitting subjects, like sibling rivalry, family conflicts, dealing with bullies, peer pressure, learning right from wrong, and self-esteem. All very heavy topics for a Saturday morning cartoon series in the 80s. Sadly, Andy never got his wings, but Gary Coleman would get his when he passed away at the early age of 42 in 2010.
The death of a child star, Gary Coleman, who as a boy provided so much amusement, so many laughs on the hit show Different Strokes, died today in a Utah hospital 2 days after suffering a brain hemorrhage. He was just 42 years old and he battled illness throughout his life.
After the end of the cartoon series, Gary would continue his success in Different Strokes and appear in mostly made-for-television movies.
Next Sunday, Gary Coleman as you've never seen him before. He's cheered your hearts. Now he's going to touch your hearts in a shocking NBC World movie premiere about a young boy's desperate plea for love and understanding.
I wish to stay out of trouble once and for all. Everything's my fault.
Gary Coleman and Playing with Fire next Sunday.
However, he found it hard to stay on top once the show ended, and his star power started to fade, and he became just another name on that long list of child actors that couldn't escape the kid fame that put him on the map. I believe if NBC took the cartoon series on another route, having Gary play himself in the title role, the cartoon could have worked. He could have just been a child actor, getting into hijinks and helping other kids along the way. Well, that's a look at another forgotten cartoon series.
Maybe I better stick to using my head.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.